Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Mahabharata496. As you may remember, Krishna was removing Radheya's illusions about his being righteous. He knew it all to be true. He hung his head down and went on with his attempts to lift the chariot from the ground. It was almost like his attempts to live against all odds. Krishna knew all about him. He knew that the one wrong act he had committed in his life was loving the sinful Duryodhana. But he was paying the price for it with his heart's blood. Wasn't that enough? Why should Krishna wound him like that? It was all destined long ago that he had to be the only true friend of Duryodhana. Fate had decided his future, and it was no use trying to explain one's actions. He loved this man, Duryodhana. He was prepared to do anything for him. He committed sin for his sake. He had never approved of the shady plans of Shakuni. He had even tried to prevent Duryodhana from taking the advice of Shakuni. But it was of no use. Radheya never did have the heart to deny Duryodhana the happiness of his triumph over the Pandavas. Radheya had been so hardy in the Sabha on that memorable day, since he wanted to please Duryodhana. Krishna knew it, and yet he accused him of unrighteousness. But now there was no time to think. He could not unweave the web that he had been caught in. It was now time to die, to lay down the arms and rest. He had paid the debt in full. Radheya left the wheel of the chariot and went back to fight. Arjuna did not send the Rudrastra. He sent the Agni, and it was baffled by Radheya sending the Varanastra. Radheya's body was weak with the effort he had to expend in remembering the incantations. That was the last astra that he could recall. He had to depend now on just his own skill to ward off the astras of Arjuna. Arjuna was now sending the Vayavyastra. In between the exchange of arrows, Radheya would jump down from his chariot and try to lift it up. Again, he would resume the fighting. It was a sight that should have made the gods weep. It was awful to see the great Radheya in such a terrible condition. No one could help him. No one could come near him because of the arrows of Arjuna. And again, everyone was too stunned by the horror of the situation to do anything. Shalya could do nothing. He had to manage the horses, which were ready to bolt at any moment. Their bodies had been mangled so ruthlessly by Arjuna. Radheya sent a powerful arrow to kill Arjuna. The impact was just terrible. It fell on Arjuna's chest, and he fainted. The Pandavas thought that he was dead. The Gandiva slipped from his hand. It was a great moment for the Kauravas. They were sure that Arjuna was killed, but before they could cheer, Arjuna recovered from the faint. His eyes took on a crimson hue. He filled the banner of Radheya. The glittering banner fell on the ground looking like a fallen rainbow. With the fall of that banner fell all that was dear to Radheya. His fame, his name. The heart of the Kauravas broke when they saw the proud banner of Radheya lying on the ground, drenched in the blood of Radheya. He tried once again to lift up his chariot. He could not. He gave up all hope now. But still, he was trying. He was on the ground with his two arms straining at the wheel. His veins were like whipcords. His face was wet with sweat and blood pouring down from his temples. His eyes were raining tears of mortification. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.